you can feel when ego is trying to keep you afloat, well, keep itself afloat, you know. I feel it sometimes. And I'm going to talk about some things that are related to this. So, I can speak from experience because I have at some point in my life gossiped. I certainly have. Oh, a while ago, a little while ago, possibly, you know, past a year ago. It'll be over a year ago now that I really, you know, would partake in gossiping. I'm not gonna pretend that I haven't, but what I do want to say is I've always remembered this really, really like deep feeling in my gut that was saying, why are you doing this? Like, this isn't nice. You shouldn't talk about people. What are you gaining from this? You know, those kind of like internal questions. And well, I suppose at the time when I wasn't really that aware, I didn't understand enough and I didn't know what to do with it. So it's hard in those circumstances. And yeah, gossiping, I find now, and I know it to be an incredibly low form of conversation. It does make me sad to hear it, but I can understand what kind of place gossiping is churning up from, the language and the perceptions that you know, certain individuals are having in the midst of gossiping, and the circles that people enter into, and the lifestyles and social media as well, of course. So first off, let's just talk about how an individual feels within themselves. Okay, so recently I've been feeling a little bit like, just why you gotta be mean, and you know, then wanting to maybe tell someone like, oh, this person was mean. I've had the thoughts, and then I walk myself back and I go to, you know, the journey I've been on, and the things I learned to get to this place where I'm present and I am fulfilled and I love myself. You know, you've got to love yourself, like loving yourself and having unconditional love for others and wanting to help others, and mainly, you know, putting the time into yourself. It heals the trauma, it heals the world, and it prevents us from doing the things that fuel more ego, like gossiping. And so I've heard it quite a bit over the months. The months, I don't know what months, just like, you know, maybe a few months. And the thing that really hit me was, I was in my local coffee shop the other day, and I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful place, great chai latte, the best chai lattes, and I love all the staff. I just feel really welcome there, you know. Okay, so I was in the coffee shop and I was waiting for my friend to return from somewhere, and I thought she would be less time than she was. So she thought, we both thought she'd only be 15 minutes, but it turned out she was an hour doing what she was doing. So it turned out she took an hour, and within that hour that I was sat in the coffee shop, I didn't listen in on a conversation and didn't just overhear a conversation. There was a conversation happening right next to me, the table next to me. and it was just a full-blown gossip conversation, probably the most intense one I've heard recently. And what I did here that really triggered me to want to do this talk was it was the storytelling of stories. So it wasn't just that, you know, I heard some people talking about other people. It was, I have heard that this person did this, so they're obviously not a very nice person, and blah blah blah, you know. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of animosity. It was, and we know this. We know that ego is fueled on the maintenance of making yourself feel above others, right? That's how ego is maintained. Like, you know, I did this and you can't do that, and I look better than you, and yeah, you know, I can't even think of the examples right now, but ego's fueled on that. And the thing is when you overhear those things, and then you hear them talking about social media as well, and saying like, this person posted a photo and then I saw them do this, and then they did that, and then they sent this message, and this wasn't very nice, and this is totally out of order, and it's the constant judgment, and it's the feeding off of that, you know, making yourself feel more important and better because you don't do the things that you're saying other people do, and also just concerning yourself so much in other people's business. But really it's you that is being affected the most when you're doing this, because in the midst of talking about others and saying how terrible these things are that people may have done, how is that reflecting on you, you know? And like, I just wonder if people are ever thinking like, is this really necessary? Like, do I really need to be saying all of this right now, and what am I getting out of this? And it is that the ego is getting so much out of it, and people end up, you know, you attract what you are. So if you are partaking in those kinds of conversations, those activities of following people's footsteps on social media, and then retelling stories and concerning yourself with everything that they're doing, rather than saying, you know what, I don't understand what's going on in their lives, and a part of me may not agree with what I perceive they've done, but that can only be judged from a perspective of a surface level knowing, when really you don't know what's going on, you don't know people's circumstances, you don't know really how they feel, you don't know what they're thinking, and you can't progress in your life if you're paying so much attention to other people's lives. Like, it's such a hindrance to you, and I don't really like to use this term, but it's very low vibrational. If that is how, you know, we speak about these things, the energy that you're putting out into the world is being received back, and gossip and social media, like, you know, I can't really find the words, like, when you're mooching around on social media for any form of gossip, any form of something to feed off, or even you post something to prove you're better than another person, or doing better things, or whatever. I know myself how how damaging that was, how painful a place I was in when I lived in social media, and how beautiful a life I now experience without it. We gotta just focus, stay in our own lanes, you know. So with gossiping, I wanna like actually put my heart out to people, because I know that it comes from a very insecure place. I know that it comes from a very like confused and self-validating place, which does not help you expand, but it may trigger an expansion. So I also don't want to judge that, because you know, somebody could be sat gossiping right now and they could have a huge realization that this is on the table, this here, what I'm talking about and what I'm showing and offering on my YouTube. And you know what, I didn't really think about talking about this last year at any point, because I didn't even see or experience any gossip. But I suppose when you're going through a process, and now that I've come to more of a level, I'm seeing things around me that I know now and understand to be guiding me and helping me, so that I can speak about it and help others. We don't need to gossip. We don't need to judge. We need to try our best to heal ourselves. And when I say try our best, I mean, if it's difficult. It's not an easy process. It's never going to be an easy process. If you can try your best, that is all you can do. And if you can try your best to heal yourself, and try your best to take a second to think about what is about to come out of your mouth, or what kind of thoughts you're indulging in, and guide yourself into a better place, then you're taking steps in the right direction. And I appreciate that, I applaud that, and that's what I feel we need a lot more of. When you find things that fulfill you, like on a Saturday night, I would much rather come and sit in the woods like I am now, meditating, talking to the camera, having fun, speaking to nature, and just really being present. That is my Saturday night. This is what I love on a Saturday night. And to get to the places that I come to on a Saturday night, I pass through the populated drinking areas. Like I said, I think in my return back to YouTube video, I pass through those areas, and I can see the culture that really just doesn't align with me. And I just hope that we can, and I believe that we can collectively guide each other into better places. Over 15 minutes, I'll have to maybe cut a little bit out. I hope this video has been helpful. I don't know if I've rambled a little bit. I do ramble a little bit, but I do just like chatting, so yeah, we'll leave it there. Happy full moon. I will see you very, very, very soon. And yeah, just love yourself. Love yourself, love your life. Try and do things that make you feel good, and try your best. Goodbye.